Hi, Kevin Coop here, and this is FaceTime with the Content Guy. You know, one of my favorite things to do is to sort of pay attention to the traditions or items that at one point we thought of as being critical to our lives, and that over a period of time, sometimes a short period of time, they've become inconsequential, irrelevant, perhaps even obsolete. You know, suddenly they just don't matter anymore. And yet, not too long ago, we'd look at them and say, oh man, I can't live without them. I mean, think about the Yellow Pages. Think about the Rolodex. Think about those little pink while you were out slips. You know, right? I haven't seen one of those in a long time. I'm actually pretty sure that the fax machine is pretty, you know, in pretty short order is going to join that group. You know, I have a fax machine in my office. A lot of people have them in their offices. The thing is, I don't use it very much, and I have a feeling that if it were to break down, I would spend no money trying to get it repaired or replaced. I just think I'd find another way to do things. I just don't really need a fax machine anymore. Well, the other day, I sort of encountered something else, which sort of caught me by surprise. We were taking our son to the airport after Thanksgiving, and he needed a tissue. Well, it ended up we didn't have any tissues in the car. He clearly didn't have one, and my wife, for whatever reason, didn't have any in her purse. And they looked at me, and I said, well, I got a handkerchief. And they both looked at me, and they were just sort of amazed that I didn't have any tissues. All I had was a handkerchief. And they thought that was sort of interesting, and they looked at me like I was sort of a dinosaur, and they were a little grossed out by the whole idea as well. I was a little flabbergasted by that, but so right there, right in the car, we decided we were going to do a little research and find out, well, what exactly is the tissue versus handkerchief argument? How many people still use handkerchiefs as opposed to tissues? Well, first of all, it's really hard to find those numbers, but I got to tell you, and I'm a little bit amazed by this, I'm apparently part of a shrinking demographic, people who use handkerchiefs. And frankly, when you go online and you see people posting about why they use handkerchiefs, I'm not sure they're a group I really want to be a part of. They sound really, really old and a little weird about these things. But I apparently am part of this this demographic group, and I've asked a lot of people since then. I've just out of curiosity, use a handkerchief, use a tissue. And like nobody uses handkerchiefs anymore. I'm just flabbergasted by this, and I just don't think there's any momentum out there, either online or among the people that I've talked to since then, for any sort of handkerchief resurgence. You know, I got to believe that while there's, again, no research out there that I can find about this, I got to believe that the companies that made handkerchiefs now in the business of making other things as well. You know, they've had to diversify. They've got to make socks and underwear. They can't just be making handkerchiefs anymore because that's probably no way to make a living. You know, I find this fascinating. You know, when I get ready in the morning, I mean, putting a handkerchief, a nice, fresh, clean handkerchief in my pocket is part of my morning. It's as important to the way I live my life as putting on my wristwatch and brushing my teeth. You know, I can't imagine going out into the world without a clean handkerchief in my pocket. And forget blowing your nose. You know, I used to watch Mannix a lot, and you never know when you're going to need a handkerchief to wipe down a doorknob or hold a gun without getting your fingerprints on it. I mean, this is reality, and you know, you need a handkerchief for those sorts of things. You know, think about it for a minute. There was probably a time when there were lots of handkerchief manufacturers out there, and everybody had one in their pocket. And today, not so much. You know, I have to wonder. You know, I have to think that there's a lot more people like my other son, who when we asked him about it, said, "Oh no, I've got like a couple of packages of handkerchiefs in my dresser drawer, and they've never been unwrapped. Grandpa gave them to me, and I can't imagine ever having used one." Are there more people like him or more people like me who still cling to the handkerchief as being part of our accoutrements every morning? I got to believe that there are a lot more people like him. You know, things change. Demographics shift. People's habits shift. Marketers have to pay attention. These are the things, the little things, the big things that we need to pay attention to. When you come right down to it, it's nothing to sneeze at. Anyway, that's what's on my mind this Thursday morning, and as always, I want to hear what's on your mind.